Hello everybody, welcome to this video. In this video we will see a question based on projection of solids, projection of a cylinder. Question is, a cylinder height 60 mm and base circle diameter 50 mm is resting on HP on a point on its base circle with the axis inclined 30 degrees with horizontal plane and 40 degrees with vertical plane. Draw the projection. So since it is a cylinder, the top of the cylinder is a circle. Draw the reference line, draw a circle of radius 25 mm. Do the dimension. Now draw the horizontal and vertical diameters parallel to and perpendicular to this reference line. Always these two lines should be parallel and perpendicular to this reference line. Now also you want to draw lines at 45 degrees. So from here you just mark 45 degrees like this, and from all these lines you can just draw from all these horizontal and vertical lines, draw lines at 45 degrees so that you can divide the circle into 8 divisions. Now name those points as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are, which are the points which are coming outside the bracket, are the top face points, and the points which are inside the bracket are the base points and corresponding base points. Since those points are invisible in top view, those points are inside the bracket. Now project all these points to the reference line. Since the height of the object is given as 60 mm, from here you mark 60 mm upwards. To show the axis you want to use chain line. Now from all these points projected here, just draw perpendicular lines to that 60 mm line and name those points as, here do the dimension 60 mm, and here this point will be, first this is A, B, C, D are top points, so this will be the point A dash, and the second point will be B dash and H dash here, and this is C dash and G dash, this is D dash and F dash here, and this point will be E dash. Now these points are outside bracket here. Now to mark the base points you have to consider the points which are inside the bracket. So here it is 1 dash, this is 2 dash and 8 dash, this is 3 dash and 7 dash, 4 dash and 6 dash and 5 dash. Next, since it is given that the axis is inclined 30 degrees with horizontal plane, axis and this base, this slant, this generator are parallel, so inclination of the axis means inclination of this generator. So you can just mark a point here, and instead of marking axis you can draw this line also. So here mark a point here, and since it is given that axis is inclined 30 degrees, that means this line is inclined 30 degrees. So from here you mark 30 degrees line having a length of 60 mm. Mark a point and draw a line at 30 degrees having a length of 60 mm. Now also draw a perpendicular line to that line. Now you want to mark from parallel to this line, you want to draw a line parallel like this, and parallel to this line you want to draw a parallel line like this. So you'll get a box. Now you want to mark all these small dimensions from here to here, here to here, like that. All those dimensions you mark here. So you can get this axis and the remaining generators. Now all those points you want to name it as same name but with suffix 1. So 1 dash, 2 1 dash, etc. on the base points, and A1 dash, B1 dash, etc. on the top face points. Now to get the fourth diagram, you want to draw the projection lines parallel to the axis through all these 8 points like this. Now from all these points here you just draw vertical lines to the corresponding line. Here you have E1 dash, so E1 dash to E, then A1 dash to A, B1 dash to B, C1 dash to C, okay, D1 dash to D here, F1 dash to F. In that way you can get 8 points here. Similarly here also you can get 8 points. 1 dash to 1, 2 dash to 2, 3 dash to 3, 4 dash to 4. So in that way you can get 8 points here. Now name those, just use a smooth curve to join all those points using a freehand smooth curve. here also you want to draw a smooth curve, but in this case the top point, the points which are here, you have outermost two tangents here like this. These two tangent, the portion of the curve coming inside that tangent, this much portion will be dotted line, because that half will be invisible in top view in this diagram. So this is the top view of this tilted diagram. So in that case, since it is tilted towards right side, some part of that cylinder will be invisible here. So that will be the portion which is coming in between these two tangents. So this portion will be dotted line. Now you want to use, you just name those points 1 2 3 1 1 2 1 etc, and here A1 B1 etc. Now, so this is the fourth position. Now it is given that the axis is inclined 40 degrees with the vertical plane. Now you mark a point here and draw a line at 40 degrees. On that line you mark a point here, and then you mark 60 mm like this. So here it is the 60 degrees is the 40 degrees. 40 degrees is the actual inclination of the line, actual inclination of the axis. But since it is already inclined 30 degrees with vertical plane, you want to find the apparent inclination here. So to find the apparent inclination, first you mark the angle at 40 degrees like this. Mark a point, draw a line at 40 degrees. On that line you mark 60 mm from mark a point. Then from there you keep some distance here, 2 or 3 centimeters from here, because the diagram should not cross this axis. So keep sufficient distance, 3 or 4 centimeters from here, and mark a point there. Then you draw 60 mm line like this, and through that point, 60 mm point, you draw a parallel line, parallel locus of that this end point parallel to this point. Now here you measure the axis length. This is to find, this diagram is to find the apparent inclination. Actual inclination of the line with the axis with the vertical plane is 40 degrees. You want to find the apparent inclination. For that, after drawing this 60 mm line and its locus, you measure the actual axis length of this diagram. Here you can see axis length will be 52 mm. Distance between this point and this is the axis. This line and this line and this line you want to use chain line to show, okay, to show that it is an axis. So now you measure the length of the axis in fourth diagram. Here you can see it is 52 mm. So from here, this point, you mark 52 mm to this locus. So use mark there 52 mm and also use a chain line to represent that. Now you are going to copy this diagram here in such a way that this axis is inclined at this angle. Now on measurement you can get it, this angle, the actual inclination was 48 degrees, but this new inclination, apparent inclination you are getting is 48 degrees. So this diagram you want to copy here at 48 degrees, not 40 degrees but 48 degrees, because it's apparent inclination. Now to draw the to copy this diagram here, first from the center point, this is this center point, you mark this distance and this distance that side on this 48 degree line, not on 40 degrees line. Okay, you want to mark this these dimensions on the apparent inclination, that is 48 degree line. So from here you measure this distance and this distance, and that distance you mark on this new line. Similarly, other distance, this one and this one, this one, this one, this one, this one and this one to this side. So from here, this distance this side, and the remaining distance 1 2, then this one here, and all these dimensions you mark on this new line. Okay, these small dimensions from here to here, here to here, you are marking. This is your reference point, center point, axis. So that is your point there. From there you are marking this and this distance towards that side, and other distances towards this side. Now you can get some points here. Now on the second line you mark this distance and this distance from here like this one and this one. Similarly, from the third point, this distance and this distance. So from here you mark that distance and other distance here. Similarly, from the fourth point you mark this distance and this distance. So from the fourth point you mark that distance left and right. Now the fifth point you need not draw because it's already a point there. Now then next point also you need not draw. From next point you mark this distance and this distance towards left hand side. So from this point you mark that distance left and right. Similarly, from here you mark this distance and this distance towards left and right, and one more point here, this one and this one towards left and right. From here you mark that distance on left and right. Now use a smooth curve to show this, to connect all these points. all these points you can connect by using a smooth curve similar to this one. But in this case also you have this much portion is coming at dotted line, so that portion should be dotted line. Now name all those points 1 2. This is your 1, so with suffix 2, 1 2 2 2 etc. up to A2. Similarly this diagram also you name, this side also you name A2 B2 C2 etc. and up to H2. Do the dimension 48 degrees also. Now to get the sixth diagram, first you consider this from you draw projection lines from here like this. From all these 8 points you draw projection lines, and corresponding point here you just draw vertical lines. So from A2 you want to draw a line to A1 dash, similarly B2 to B1 dash, C2 to C1 dash. In that way you can get 8 points here. Connect those points by using smooth curve. Now in the same way name those points as A2 B2 C2 etc. up to H2. Now in the same way you draw projection lines from here, the base points 1 2 3 4 up to 8 from like that, parallel lines, and then you draw vertical lines from here also 1 1 2 to 1 1 dash, 2 2 to 2 1 dash. In that way you can get 8 points here. Connect those points and use a smooth curve to join those points. Here in this case this face is coming, you can get a diagram like this, a smooth curve here and a smooth curve here. But in this case thing is that this face, this is the front view of this diagram, so observer is here. So in based since observer is here, this face is visible, and the other face is coming, this face is away from him, which is facing the vertical plane. So the face which is facing the observer will be visible here, whereas the face which is facing the vertical plane will be invisible, half of that will be invisible. So once you this circle should be, this ellipse should be complete, you had used continuous line, whereas this circle, since it is facing towards VP, this portion will be half of that, the semicircle or the ellipse, half of the ellipse which is coming inside this tangent will be dotted line. So in that way you can draw this portion, this ellipse and this ellipse, and here you want to use a tangent like this, tangent from this curve to this curve here also. So in that way you can connect this diagram. And also you want to use smooth, light colors, thin colors, thin line for representing these projection lines and projection lines. Hope you understood this diagram, how to draw the projection of a solid when it is when some apparent inclination is to be found. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much.